National intelligence is about how a country's population can learn, process, apply, and adapt knowledge regardless of its population size, GDP, or borders. Intelligence quotient (IQ) in this context reflects how societies nurture thinking, perform in solving problems, logic, and tests of memory through cultural values, ancient intellectual traditions, and education systems. In Africa, several countries are leading in this aspect, ranking remarkably higher than the average IQ scores. Using the data from the World Population Review, ranked based on the Richard Lynn and David Becker work, here are the African countries leading. At number 10 is Uganda. Uganda has an average IQ score of 76.42. This score reflects the country's high value on education and learning, for a country that has faced internal and external struggles. Uganda is home to one of the most respected academic institutions, Makerere University. In recent years, the government has also increased free education at the primary and secondary levels. Ugandan citizens, especially in urban areas like Jinja, Entebbe, and Kampala, prioritize education even with low resources, reflecting their spirit of resilience. At number 9 is Madagascar. Madagascar is often known for its wildlife and biodiversity. The country records an average IQ score of 76.79, showing its effort in prioritizing education, especially among the youth. Literacy rates and French-influenced academic curriculum are steadily building its education system despite its struggles with infrastructure in some regions. Madagascar's emphasis on community schooling, perseverance, and reading contributes to its IQ score. At number 8 is Comoros. Comoros is an Indian Ocean with a small population. The country has an average IQ score of 77.07, reflecting its high placement in the culture of learning, particularly in community-based systems and religion. The influence of Arabic and French in the learning system has helped in making it more effective. The Comoros household encourages the youth to develop their skills and pursue higher education internationally and locally. At number 7 is Senegal. Senegal has an average IQ score of 77.37. The country is known as a cultural hub, but beyond that, it has invested in its intellectual growth. Over the last decades, its education reforms have received more investment than other sectors. Senegal is home to several major universities and research centers, increasing the rate of literacy and school attendance. Senegalese citizens are equipped to handle multiple worldviews due to their combination of Islam and Western education. At number 6 is Seychelles. With an average IQ score of 78.76, Seychelles is known for its high Human Development Index and small population. The country's colonial heritage from the British and French contributes to its well-structured education system. Also, free education at the primary and secondary levels has significantly supported the country. At number 5 is Chad. Chad's average IQ score of 78.87 can be attributed to its local knowledge systems, oral traditions, and strong ability to solve problems despite its limited resources. Surprisingly, education is still a challenge, but what makes Chad stand out is its adaptability, cultural intelligence, and logic despite its complex environment. To build a stronger education system, the government and NGOs have recently provided more access to schooling in both Arabic and French. At number 4 is Sudan. Sudan has an average IQ score of 78.87. In sub-Saharan Africa, the country is home to one of the oldest university traditions, including the University of Khartoum, which can be traced as far back as the colonial era. Sudanese society, especially the north, prioritizes education firmly, increasing the literacy rate despite the unstable political system. The Sudanese also excel in mathematics and science locally and internationally, reflecting how good education is deeply embedded in the country. At number 3 is Kenya. Kenya has a strong educational system, particularly in mathematics and the sciences. Kenyan students consistently perform well in international competitions and have a reputation for excelling in demanding fields such as engineering, medicine, and technology. This success is often attributed to a culture that highly values education as a pathway to social and economic mobility. Kenya is a regional leader in technological innovation. It is often referred to as Silicon Savannah due to its thriving tech scene. A prime example is M-Pesa, a mobile money service that was developed in Kenya and has since revolutionized financial services across Africa and beyond. The creativity and problem-solving skills of Kenyan innovators have made the country a hub for groundbreaking startups and tech solutions. Kenyans have made significant contributions in a wide range of fields on the global stage. From Nobel Peace Prize laureate Wangari Maathai, who was a leading figure in environmental conservation, to athletes who dominate long-distance running, Kenyans have demonstrated exceptional talent, discipline, and strategic thinking. Their achievements highlight a widespread capacity for high-level performance and intellectual prowess. The combination of a strong educational foundation, a vibrant culture of innovation, and a history of remarkable achievements on the world stage points to the intelligence and resourcefulness of the Kenyan people. At number 2 is Tunisia. Tunisia is known for its innovation and intelligence. With an average IQ score of 79.22, the country has invested heavily in higher education, technology, and science. In North Africa, Tunisia has positioned itself as an IQ leader, with a large number of STEM graduates, and a public system that is well structured. Tunisia's youth are more tech-oriented and the students also perform well in international academic competitions. Tunisia's digital literacy rate keeps growing rapidly. At number 1 is Mauritius. Mauritius tops the list in Africa with an average IQ score of 86.56. The country has a strong government policy, a strategic blend of multicultural education, and a national culture that respects academic achievement. Mauritius has a literacy rate above 100%, and its influence in French, Hindi, English, and Chinese benefits the schooling system. Mauritius universities also attract foreign students, while their students also impressively perform beyond average at international levels. It's also important to note that the process of measuring and comparing national IQ scores is a complex and often controversial topic. While there is no single, globally standardized test, researchers who create these rankings typically use a few key methods to arrive at their estimates. The most common approach is to analyze and aggregate data from a wide variety of sources. These include standardized tests. Researchers primarily rely on the results of international student assessments. Tests like the Program for International Student Assessment, PISA, and the Trends in International Mathematics and Science Study, TIMSS, are designed to measure cognitive abilities in subjects like math and science. While not a direct IQ test, the results are often used as a proxy for national intelligence. National studies, data from older, traditional IQ tests administered within specific countries is also used. However, this data can be inconsistent, as different countries may use different tests and methodologies, and the results can quickly become outdated. Averaging and estimation. When direct data is unavailable for a country, researchers may estimate its IQ score by using a regional average or by correlating it with other national statistics, such as literacy rates, gross domestic product, GDP, or educational attainment levels. This method is often criticized for being speculative and not based on direct cognitive assessment. The practice of ranking countries by IQ is highly debated and faces significant criticism from the scientific community. Key criticisms include test bias. Many tests are culturally biased, favoring people from Western, educated, and industrialized backgrounds. This means the tests may not accurately measure the cognitive abilities of individuals from different cultural contexts. Inaccurate proxies. Using standardized school tests as a proxy for a population's overall intelligence is problematic. These tests measure specific skills and knowledge gained through formal schooling, not a person's entire cognitive potential. Data quality. The data used for these rankings can be inconsistent and unreliable. The information is often from different time periods and sourced from a small, non-representative portion of the population. Outdated science. Modern science views intelligence as a multifaceted concept that cannot be captured by a single number.